Here on Cut Talk, man, as usual, I got the regular victim in the chair, man. My nephew, PJ. Man, we're gonna give him a nice little mid-ball fade today. But right now, I'm brushing out the taco meat hair, man, the Butterfinger BBs, man, to get everything nice and smooth. But I hope everybody had a good Valentine's Day, man, and was able to spend time with the spouse, the girlfriend, the boyfriend, whatever, man, and just treat each other with some love this weekend. I was able to hang out with my wife and the fam. Friday, we went to this place called Samurai, this hibachi place not too far from our house, and that was pretty good. My kids liked it. My wife liked it. It's some of her favorite food, and I actually liked it too. So that was a man. Just shout out to my wife, man. My Valentine's Day, man. My right hand, my baby, man. If I had to just say some good words about my wife, I would say one of the biggest things that just stands out about her is just her class. Her class, the way she carries herself, and just her whole aura is just something I can get with. Like, super respectful, down to earth. And that was one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to be with her, man. Like, I ain't had the best history with women. Like anybody, man, I've had relationships that haven't worked, situations that haven't worked, you know, some good, some bad. But just going into it with my wife, I think the biggest thing, like I said, that got me hooked to her was just the respect she gave and the way she carried herself. And man, I have peace at home with my wife. Are there times when we might have, you know, skirmishes or disagreements or stuff we need to talk about? For sure. But anytime anything like that happen, man, my wife respectful. You know what I'm saying? She's logical. She's not delusional. She come at me in a certain way, which I understand her points. She understand mine. We try to find a solution, and then we keep rocking, man. So again, man, shout out to my wife, man, and all she do for the family. She an excellent mother, does her thing in her career. So I ain't got nothing but good things to say about her. So again, salute to her, salute to my mom, salute to my sisters, all the ladies in my family who hold it down. So happy Valentine's Day to them, and just all the beautiful women out there, man. Hopefully y'all had a good one. But what else we gonna talk about today? Because every time I try to cut my nephew hair, I try to reflect and just get my thoughts out. But oh yeah, the All-Star game is today. I don't really know if I'm gonna watch the whole thing. I'll probably watch a little bit of it. It's unfortunate Giannis not playing. Like, if Giannis was playing, I definitely would, you know, tune in and try to watch the whole thing. But I mean, it is what it is. But I just think with the All-Star game, man, them players don't be taking it serious, and it'd be horrible basketball, and it's kind of like, I don't know, a waste of time to watch. But hopefully this year, with the format being switched up and the world games the world versus the Americans, hopefully, you know, competitive juices kick in and some pride is had on both sides, and they play hard. So the lineup for the world is nasty. You got Joker, you got Giannis, Shea, Wemby, Luka. I feel like there's one more person I'm missing, but just nasty lineup, man. So I'm eager to see what's gonna happen with that, man. But in terms of just basketball and just GOAT topics, I feel like GOAT topics take place in the hood, they take place in the streets, they take place in the barbershops, they take place in the boardroom. Anywhere you go, man, you can easily get into a debate on who's the best, man. Who got the best game, who had the best jump shot, who was the best defender. And like, in my humble opinion, that's cool. Like, I'm a fan of the game, so I'll even partake in some of those conversations. But at the end of the day, like, just being older and just taking more things serious that I didn't take, or really when I was younger, one of the biggest things I try to acknowledge, man, is who was solid, who was the most solid. Like, in terms of the day, they say they keep it gangster, keep it P. All of those terms get thrown around about somebody being solid. And that's what I want to know. Because I feel like today, you know, with basketball, it's pushed to, you know, have your skill set at a certain level. But it's not pushed to actually play the game with integrity and act like a civilized person in terms of the way you talk to people, in terms of the way you handle your responsibilities, in terms of the way how you treat others. I feel like that ain't really, emphasis really ain't put on that overall. Now, there are individuals who definitely focus on character and developing good habits for these kids coming up, and even just in the pros, man. But that's what I be wanting to know, because I ain't gonna air out certain players, but I've heard certain stories about certain NBA players. Yeah, they good, but these dudes are straight buttholes behind scenes, behind the closed doors. And it's like, man, I don't like that type of stuff is just overlooked. Like, yeah, it's cool, you a good basketball player, you know what I'm saying? That is cool. But what type of man are you? You know what I'm saying? Do you treat others with respect? Are you loyal to your word? When you say something, are you gonna follow up and follow through with what you say? What type of character do you got at the end of the day? And that's what I be wanting to know about individual players. You know what I'm saying? How do they handle themselves? How do they treat the ball boy? How do they treat the janitor? How do they treat the last man on the roster? How do they treat their families, man? How do they handle, you know, being successful and coming from a certain area and giving back? Them be all the things I be wanting to know about an individual player, no matter how good he is or how high he's ranked or he's the GOAT or whatever, man. In my opinion nowadays, if you don't act or have a certain type of character, I don't really care how good you are. If that's your reputation outside of basketball, I ain't gonna have that much respect for you. Again, I ain't calling out no names, but in terms of just that, my question to all the gang city, all the dudes from the street, all the dudes who operate on a certain honor code, we quick to say this person is the GOAT, this person is the GOAT. But if this person is a sucker in real life, why does that not get considered when it comes to ranking them a certain level or having certain admiration for them? Like, this dude is a sucker. He don't treat his people with respect. He don't give back to the neighborhood. He don't carry himself in a certain way. Like, if he wasn't a good basketball player, you'd think he was a square or you'd think he was a cornball. But because he could hoop, you know what I'm saying, he get the pass. So I would want to know from the streets, man, when is it okay to give a certain cat a pass when he don't carry himself with a certain character? Even on the coaching side, like, I've come across certain coaches, they legendary coaches, they good coaches, but they a-holes at the end of the day. They treat certain players, you know what I'm saying, foul, negative. They don't know how to talk to people. Don't know how to, outside of basketball, really be there for some of these kids. Not so much now, but just coaches in the past. But because they got state chips and because they had certain players under they watch, man, they consider legends. But their character ain't legendary. But at the same time, you not hearing these dudes, you know what I'm saying, get held accountable the same way somebody who wasn't that is. So I'm just curious to know, when does all the accolades and all the awards and all of that go out the building and they held to the same standard as everybody else? So that's what just had me curious. I was thinking about that the other day, man. Like, basketball is cool. Even like making money is cool. You know what I'm saying? Being successful, that's cool. But if I'm not carrying myself in a certain way, being respectful, looking out for people, acting as though I'm above everybody else, if that's my reputation, that's my vibe, that's how I get down, at the end of the day, man, I'm a sucker. No matter how much bread I got or how many cars I got or how much, you know, whatever I got to show, if that's my character, at the end of the day, I'm a sucker. And in terms of like basketball players, I don't care how good you are. If you can't stay true to your word, if you don't take care of your family, you know what I'm saying? If you don't look out for people, if people can't depend on you, if you shady, if you any of those things, man, I don't care how good of a ball player you are, I'm not gonna respect you as a man. And that go for all of these dudes that be in GOAT discussions. If they character low, they lose points in my book. I don't care how good you were. So that's how I be feeling about that, man. Like, I want to see these young kids, man, get trained to have a certain skill set when it comes to hoops, you know, get trained to play the game the right way, but also get trained to just be a solid individual at the end of the day outside of the court. You know what I'm saying? Are you respectful to women? You know what I'm saying? Are you respectful and you look out for your neighborhood? Are you respectful to your mom, your dad? You know what I'm saying? How do you talk to, you know, everyday people? You know what I'm saying? Is your character solid? And that's one of the things I want to see pushed. Like, it's some cats I can name who they coaches in the city, but they definitely push that with their players, man. Like Emmett Colbert from Go to My Ear is definitely one of those cats who, you know what I'm saying, good coach, got a good team, shout outs to them. They just won the city conference. But the character he trying to push on them boys, man, that's something beautiful to see. And just the journey he's on personally, just with his faith and just trying to grow, man, that's dope to see. And that's somebody I cheer for and root for every day, man. So shout out to Go to My Ear. Shout out to Emmett Colbert and just the success them dudes having, man. A real coach over there building character with them kids, man. So that's one of the guys I can name in this city, man. Tony Main, another good coach, you know what I'm saying, running this program the right way, man. Salute to him. Salute to Juno, GB, Tori, my guy Gary, all them boys over there, man, doing big things, man. Building character with them kids, man. Shout out to Pre. All them cats, man, that just, they coaches, but to the young men who are under them, man, they more than that, you know what I'm saying? So I salute those guys and many others who like basketball is cool, but they actually at the same time trying to build men. And that's what the city need, man. That's what we need to grow and improve, man. So shout out to them. So in terms of just switching gears, last week was the Super Bowl, and it was a big deal about the halftime performance and having Bad Bunny be the halftime performer. And a lot of people on the right felt that Bad Bunny was a bad image to be on that stage and that platform. He vulgar, he represents certain things that shouldn't be on TV, certain things that kids shouldn't see. And I kind of understand that. I really can't even argue that. Just hearing some of his content, hearing some of the stuff he pushed in his music, I really can't. I get it. But at the same time, the right, because they were so outraged, they had their own little halftime show. It had Kid Rock as the performer, and it's like, man, you gonna bash Bad Bunny, but is Kid Rock any better? Like, I get Kid Rock at the end of his show, man, like, had a certain song that tried to, you know, cater to like growth and like becoming a man and all that. But it's like, at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep it 100. The NFL is not a Christian organization. It's not, bro. A lot of these sports leagues aren't Christian organizations. So can you really be mad that they not getting Christian artists to perform? Like, that's not their job. Their job is to get somebody who's popular, who gonna get the crowd, keep the crowd occupied for 20 minutes while the players come back on the field. And I feel like it's such a want to be outraged by stuff today. Like, I feel like anybody they choose, it's gonna be a problem. And would it have been cool to have a Christian artist on the halftime show? Yeah, for sure. Like, that is cool. But like, come on, man, I'm a realist. I understand that having a Christian artist at the halftime show of the NFL probably not gonna happen. So like whoever they get, like it is what it is, man. If you don't like it, just don't watch. But all the propaganda and all of this and that, and what are they doing? I'm going to protest. This is a travesty. All this and that. Like, okay, I get it, but it's a lot of other stuff in this world today that I feel like deserves attention outside of who's performing at the NFL halftime show. A lot of fake outrage, man, at the end of the day. And I think I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. Like I'm a Christian. I believe in God. So the way I run my household, if I do vote, whoever I vote for is gonna be whatever candidate fits closest to my values as a Christian. And to be honest, it ain't really been too many candidates lately who's fit that mold. So I just try to stay out of that whole process, take care of my family, and stay out the way. But the one thing I've noticed from the right that I think creates such a big disconnect with people in America is the right simply can't acknowledge certain things that took place in this country. Certain injustices that happen to people of color, certain things that are part of our history that at the end of the day really ain't, you can't make a case for, you can't speak up for, you can't justify. Wrong is wrong. Like the history of this country when it comes to slavery, like it was wrong at the end of the day. You can't justify it. Ain't no way you can justify stealing a man and owning a man against his will. I don't care if you say, well, it was legal at the time, it's still wrong. And I feel like a lot of Republicans today can't simply tuck their pride and say that. Like, you know what? I'm a Republican in America today. I believe in certain values, and I believe that certain things should be pushed in today's world, in today's country. But I can admit that what happened to black people back in the day was wrong. It wasn't cool, and then just be even more so just being a Christian, it wasn't godlike. And Jesus Christ wouldn't have condoned that. So that was it's a stain on our history that unfortunately we can't erase. I look for it, nephew. But going forward, I think this country can do better and work to create unity instead of pushing division. That's all. I feel like if one Republican candidate or whoever, senator, congressman, said that to the masses, I feel like that would do a lot of good with the morale of society. I'm not coming at solely Republicans, because Democrats could do better too, man. At the end of the day, like certain lifestyle choices, certain truths that get ignored, you know what I'm saying, are definitely things when it comes to the Democrat Party that I feel, in my opinion, just being a Christian man. But at the end of the day, man, we all gotta come together. We all got difference of opinions. We all look at the world different, but it gotta be unity. Gotta be some type of unity when it comes to this country. And I feel like our president should see that as a challenge and see that as a goal to try to tackle, instead of putting certain barriers up or keeping certain barriers up amongst the people. Because at the end of the day, man, we stronger when we together, not separated off of petty BS, in my opinion. But even more, just elaborating on this topic, kind of switching gears. Funny thing happened with me and my wife the other day when it came to, like, a certain lady was asking my wife where she should send her kid for daycare. My wife suggested a certain daycare that my kids go to, and the lady was white, and my wife suggested the daycare for this lady to, you should maybe think about sending your kids there. And like, I didn't say nothing, but at the end of the day, and hear me out, I looked at my wife and I kind of laughed because the lady looked as though she never, necessarily been around black people in a real way. And this is me just not necessarily stereotyping, but just taking an educated guess. She could have she could have black people in her family. Her kids could be mixed. Who knows? But just looking at her lingo, the way she dressed, because we met her at a school tour, and I'm just like, I don't know, baby. I don't know if like that daycare necessarily would fit her what she's comfortable with. And that's where I want to stop. I feel like in today's society, racism and preference definitely get confused and get meshed together, which I think is unfair. It's wrong to discriminate against somebody, to disrespect somebody simply because of the color of their skin or what they believe in terms of religion or even lifestyle. That is wrong. But it's not wrong to have a preference. Like, I like being around these type of people. I don't look down on anybody. I don't wish anybody any harm. But just for my personal preference, I'm comfortable being around these sets of people. I feel like it's nothing wrong with that. And just looking at that lady, the way she spoke, the way she talked, I just I made an educated assumption that she probably would like to be around a different type of daycare. That don't mean I think she racist. That don't mean I think she looks down at black people. No, not at all. Like, I'll even say with me, like, if there was a country bar and there was a hip hop lounge right across the street from each other, if I didn't know anybody at any bar, I would probably prefer the hip hop bar more because I like hip hop music. I like lounges. I like a cool, chill environment. And I feel like the hip hop lounge will probably suit more to my personality and what I'm into. Now, I'll also say this. If I knew the people who owned the country bar that was all white, like I went to school and had teammates from the country bar and they invited me to come, I'm there all day. It's a no-brainer. Like, I'm there, these is my people. I want to support their business. You know what I'm saying? They got good food and I'm gonna push their business because these my people, regardless of ethnicity. Like, I don't care that they white. These my people, these my brothers. So I'm gonna go show some love. Now, every now and then I might pop into the hip hop lounge, show them some love too. But like, I'm not gonna discriminate just cause it's a white bar. Like, nah, I'm gonna show some love. And like I said, and these my friends at the end of the day too. They got a goal, they got a vision with this business. And anything I can do to help and push their business and get them some notoriety and break bread with them, I'm gonna do that, irregardless of their color. And I think that message should be pushed today with people. Like, it's nothing wrong with having a certain preference and comfort with certain groups of people. Like, it's nothing wrong if you a white man and you feel just more comfortable being around white people. There's nothing wrong with that. I feel like then where you can get yourself in trouble is when you disrespect black people at the same time. Oh, I don't want to be around them. They're loud, they're obnoxious. You know what I'm saying? They do this, they do that. Now that's a problem. But if you just like, man, I grew up in a certain neighborhood, I grew up around certain people, I love everybody, but I just feel most comfortable in this scene. But, salute to them, respect to them. There's nothing wrong with that, man. But I feel like in today's society, man, we so thirsty to be outraged. We so thirsty to want to protest and like have issues with certain things. We would deem that person as racist. When at the end of the day, like, nah, they ain't racist. They just got a certain preference. And they got a right to do that in America. Just like I have a right to be wherever I want to be, they got a right to do whatever they want to do. If they like this type of music, they have the right to go and listen to that type of music. Regardless if it's all white, if it's all black, it is what it is, man. But I feel like our generation, man, would be so quick to want to be outraged at certain stuff, we don't take the time to think and be like, yeah, you know what, that actually is probably out of pocket. Like, they didn't do nothing wrong. Like, they cool doing that, man. They not hurting me. They didn't say anything disrespectful about me. They just want to be with people they feel comfortable with. The same way on the other end, if you had a white person who more comfortable around black people and they choose to be around black people, that don't mean they a sellout, or vice versa. You had a black person who was just more comfortable being in a country bar, being around that scene. That don't mean they an Uncle Tom. That's just their preference. At the end of the day, now like I said, if that's their preference, but they get disrespectful towards black people and look down at their own, you know what I'm saying, their own ethnic group, to be around white people, that is a problem. And I would want nothing to do with that type of person. But at the end of the day, man, we got free will in this country, man. And I think people think free will only goes one side. Like, if you're not with us, man, you racist, you this, you that. Like, nah, that's not the case. You can't have it both ways, man. Freedom goes both ways. And I feel like when our country can get to that point, it's gonna be a better society. Stay up, nephew, I'm almost done. But that's the things I wanted to talk about, man. Like, I'm gonna keep cracking at my nephew hair, man. It's coming out pretty good. And I'll show the end product when I'm done. But yeah, man, like, I just want to see this country progress and continue to be a beautiful place where all people from all walks of life can live and have a good life, man. Because I think that's what this country was established. That's the reasons why it was established. And I think we should live actually to what this Constitution was established for at the end of the day. And I will say this, in terms of our country's history and how we inhabited this country, I did a little research this weekend, or not this weekend, but this week, on like some of the stuff that occurred when America had a lot of wars and issues with the Native Americans who were here before us, and how they was able to get this land. It was foul. I benefit from America and benefit from some of the stuff that went down between the British and Native Americans back in the day. And I will say this, as an American citizen, that was foul. And I pray and hope that America never does anything like that in the future, in terms of manipulating, finessing, and tricking people out of stuff that was theirs rightfully. And my heart goes out to those Native American people from that time, and the Native American people to this day who still are suffering effects of what happened back in those times. It was unfortunate, and that's another nasty stain on the history of this country. But I hope we as citizens can take that and learn from that and not repeat that history, man, because at the end of the day, that was foul. Them people was here before us. That was them people's lands, and we finessed, and well, I ain't gonna say we, but they took that land unrightfully, but then made a constitution that's saying liberty and justice for all. There was no justice when it came to that. But I hope we, like I said, can use that as a thing to learn from and just be better as a nation. But that's it. So when I'm done with nephew here, man, I'm gonna come back with the finished product. But that's Cut Talk, man.